hey, if we had not lost that first match in that terrible batting collapse on the fifth day, then maybe by now we would have been looking at a 3-0 clean sweep.
So talking about the batting, Pujara obviously came good.
What a comeback!
What a comeback!
What a comeback!
Brilliant.
Yeah.
He's batted on. He survived the entire innings. Something that only we would expect from
and
Dravid
what a great
before.
leveler this game is, that on the day he carries his bats through the innings, on the same day he comes out to bat in the second innings, makes a blob. So it just shows you what a great leveler sport is. But otherwise, I think there's a problem of plenty for the selectors and for the tour management. Shikhar Dhawan, Murali Vijay, both in very good form, not playing in the series. Rahul has made 100 in the series. Cheteshwar Pujara has made 100. Virat Kohli obviously is a captain. Rahane has made 100 in the series, and Rohit has not made 100, but I thought he played a very crucial half century.
He's half century.
He had an 80 plus in the second test match. So there's been no failure as one can call it. The batting has looked very good. In fact, they don't know who to keep out in the next match.
So what do you think India needs to do now?
They need to take their catches and try and finish the match. I would say don't let it linger on, because there's always the threat of rain. And what we've seen on this pitch is if two batsmen settle down, they can build up a partnership. It happened with Sri Lanka in their first innings and also with India in the second innings.
So that's true.
And that partnership can get frustrating, then bowlers start losing their rhythm and the attention wanders. So I think they need to be really focused.
And those are the plus sides obviously, but what do you think have been the negatives for India that still need to be fixed and ironed out?
Well, I think the negative, if there is to be anything, on the tour, I think the fact that Harbhajan didn't do well is obviously the negative that one can take away. But otherwise, Amit Mishra has been a revelation. Ashwin, obviously.
Ashwin's
so
obviously.
The fast bowlers have done well. I think Umesh Yadav and Ishant Sharma, because both have got pace and they are different types of bowlers. Yadav is a swing bowler. Ishant hits the deck and can get the ball to seam. It's a good combination, and I think even Binny played well today. Picked up 2 wickets in the first innings. So all the gambles seem to have paid off, barring Harbhajan.
Okay, so and as you were in Colombo for Sangakkara's last test, how was that? Like, what was the mood there in Colombo? Like,
well, the mood was one of it was a celebratory mood, tinged with a little sadness because you're losing one of the all-time great players. But I think the mood started to kind of get sadder and sadder as the match progressed because Sri Lanka were losing, and Sangakkara in both the test matches couldn't achieve much. I think he was the burden of expectation perhaps weighing too heavily on him. But I always love going to Sri Lanka because it's a lovely place, Colombo especially. So I had a blast.
Yeah. And so looking back at his career, Sangakkara's career, are there any innings that you fondly remember? What do you think of his career as a whole?
In my opinion, he is undoubtedly an all-time great. Undoubtedly
brilliant figures. He's finished with such
fantastic figures. Sri Lanka's greatest ever player. There was some controversy whether it should not be Murali Dhawan. Murali Dhawan's got 800 plus wickets, but I think Sangakkara's influence went beyond the field. The president of the country offered him high commissionership to the UK at the farewell speech. So that's the kind of influence he has had. The innings that I remember, what I've seen was a century he made at CCI, not at Wankhede.
Okay.
In 2009-10. That's the match in which Viru Sehwag almost made a triple 100. And in the second innings, Sangakkara made a superb 100. They didn't do well in the match, Sri Lanka, but his class came through.
Yeah, his innings stands out. So that's cricket, and hopefully India can pull this off. Finally get an overseas test
I hope
victory.
so, because this team is a young team which needs that win to kind of give them more josh, and then they start playing better and better, I think.
And so I'm sure you're watching the athletics championships too. I know. What do you think of Usain Bolt's 3 gold medals? He's come back when people were doubting him. When you finally thought that maybe he's not going to lose. He's going to lose out to Gatlin. He's proven everyone wrong.
At the back of my mind, I never thought that. I thought he was playing him along. Even before the 2012 Olympics, if you remember, Johan Blake was winning. All the other.
Yeah, because Gatlin had won like 9 races.
But I think Bolt keeps his best for the big occasion. He's a big occasion performer. So when it's the Olympics or the World Championships, you'll find Bolt coming in like a bolt. So I mean, what can one say of Bolt? He's like Muhammad Ali. I mean, after he goes, there will be a great void in the sport. Or like a Roger Federer.
Yeah.
Different personalities. This guy is more in your face. He's more flamboyant. Roger Federer is not. He's more like Ali in that sense.
Yeah, he is.
Very colourful personality.
And that's a comparison that a lot of people have made.
Yes,
because
and
great
inevitably.
legends, both of them.
Inevitably.
And you feel just blessed watching, especially the 100 meter. The first one, I think it was a bit of a challenge for him. But after that, once
I think he just cut Gatlin down to size.
Yeah, he did.
To put it bluntly.
Yeah. So that's true. And any other performances that stood out for you from the championships?
Well, I think Mo Farah, because there was so much.
Brilliant.
Mo Farah, there was so much
talk
talk about him.
He's
done the double again, and there were issues about whether he's onto some substance abuse or whatever else. He proved everybody wrong, and he's gone and shown himself to be a great champion.
So Kenya topped the medals table,
Yes.
middle and
which
long
has got
distance.
kind of overshadowed by Bolt and the others, and the
So
fact that the US missed out relay silver. But I think Kenya is a contingent to watch out for in athletics in Rio.
Yeah, so that's the table.
That's the table.
They finished with 7 golds, most of them coming in middle and long distance running, 1 in javelin, obviously.
And look at it, Kenya and Jamaica, small, tiny countries, and look at their performance. It's fantastic.
So that's the thing. So that's the next question. So the Indians obviously didn't do well. Vikas Gowda finished a poor 9th. He didn't even better his own, best, let alone trying to compete for the, medals or the podium. Women's, no one really stood out.
The marathoner improved her best.
That's what. So we've made two national records, two new national records.
Yeah.
But what do we need to do now to get there?
So I think from an evolutionary path for Indian athletics and all, I think it's great to be participating with this lineup, with the Bolts and the Mo Farahs and and so on and so forth. If you just participate along with them, you get a feel of what big time competition is. I think if not this lot of athletes, the next lot will look to do better.
Yeah.
So I think yes, you are not getting a podium finish, which you never expected.
Yeah.
But you want to come higher and inch closer and closer to a podium finish. Maybe it will take another 8-10 years.
Yeah.
But I think that's what you should aim for.
And I think out of all the Indians that did go, I think Lalita Babbar, she was one of the. She put up a really good show.
She put up a good show, yes.
She finished 8th, but again, she's made a new record, new national record.
Which is great.
Yeah. So and for most of the race, it looked like she was in the lead. It looked like maybe if she could just keep it up, she could have finished on the podium.
But that's where even how you run a race tactically comes
Yeah.
through,
So do you think we lack that acumen maybe? How?
Because we are short of great international experience.
Especially with PT Usha being in the news for the wrong reasons about how she's coached.
Yeah, I mean, I think PT Usha's punted too much on her protege.
Yeah.
So it's not happening. It's not happening for the last 4, 5, 6.
We didn't even
years.
qualify from the heats in the relay. So that's a little disheartening, I'm sure.
It is, but I think in the overall picture of Indian athletics, look, Indian athletes at the Olympic Games have been more from shooting, archery,
that's true.
wrestling,
Those are our
boxing,
strengths.
not track and field.
Yeah.
So if you have people who are finishing 8th and 9th, I'm not really disappointed.
Okay, so you think we're becoming
it's
better?
Encouraging, yeah.
Yeah, we are becoming better.
Yeah.
So decent showing. Maybe hopefully Vikas Gowda can he's a
Yeah, I mean these are names, but I'm
Yeah.
saying that there is something that is being built up. That's important,
So a year to go for the Olympics, and hopefully we'll have a better showing at the Olympics there. Yeah. And what do you make of all the football that happened as over the weekend?
You're the football ace, so you have to tell us.
It was quite a surprising.
I only want to know why Arsenal. What are they doing with the 200 million they've got?
So the transfer window closes tomorrow, 6 p.m. UK time, and it's crazy right now. This is when newspapers have a field day. Names are just being thrown. Astonishing figures, but it's been 4 matches, and one thing's clear: City looked the best of the lot, which is so surprising.
So are they doing a Chelsea this year?
Last season, after they lost to United 4-2, it looked like Pellegrini could lose his job. He was under a lot of pressure, but now they've won 10 matches on the trot, which is surprising. And they bought Kevin De Bruyne, so they're the only team that looks perfectly poised to go for a title. Right now. Chelsea clearly again they lost. United lost over the weekend. Liverpool lost over the weekend. So it's become very clear that all these teams, other teams, if they have to challenge City, if they've gotten 12 points out of 12, they've won all the 4 matches. They need to buy someone. United definitely need a striker. Which is surprising. I'm surprising Van Gaal hasn't done anything about it. He bought 4 really good players.
But not a striker.
Not a striker, and he sold off the only option that we have. Rooney's only one left, and that's you just can't one striker up front. I think that's a huge risk, and he definitely needs to invest. Chelsea, they need a centre back. If they keep playing Ivanovic and Terry, that's just not working for them. And hope they're spending so much on Stones, John Stones. They're willing to spend as much as possible, and they're just making a bigger and bigger bid.
Not getting anything in return.
Yeah. So I think Everton fans had the best chant of the weekend where they went like "Money can't buy you Stones" with the Beatles song. So that's always fun to watch. So they need a centre back, and Arsenal need a striker. No goals for us.
So maybe we'll know by tomorrow what's going to happen.
Yeah, by tomorrow. This is the time when you watch out, and you're constantly refreshing your tabs, seeing what news is coming in, and anything like today. The rumor is that we're bidding for a 19-year-old French player, and we're bidding 36 million United, and that's ridiculous. But it's the transfer window, and
yeah, anything can happen.
Anything can happen.
I mean, there's always great thrill attached to a transfer window.
Yeah, it does. So that's football.
Now tennis.
The US Open starts tonight.
Yes. So, I mean, there's a lot of talk about whether Federer, as always, whether he's reaching the end of the road. He always says no. Maybe he'll go on to play till he's 50. But I think the guy to watch out for, and he's playing tonight, is Rafa Nadal.
Yeah. You think?
So, there's speculation that he's probably a spent force.
Yeah.
Now, he needs to prove people wrong rather than everybody else saying, look, he can still do it. Because his past 6 months have been quite poor.
Yeah. And he's playing Borna Koric, who's this young teenager to watch out for on the ATP, and Koric actually defeated him last year, so he could again pull off an upset. That's definitely one match to watch out for tonight if you're tuning in for the US Open. But what's stolen all the headlines and what's making news everywhere is Serena Williams. For the first time, the women's final tickets outsold the men's.
Because she's going to equal Steffi Graf
if she does it.
And then she could get ahead of Margaret Court.
Yeah, so that's the big news that people would want to follow for 2 weeks. She herself, she's refused to talk about the career slam since the French Open, where she's like, no, I don't want to discuss or speculate or anything. I just want to get done with it.
Look, I think where Serena is concerned, the more we praise her, we are wasting words, because we know what kind of a champion she is. She is an all-time great. Yeah. I think that she's going to do it.
Yeah. So you picking Serena Williams?
I pick Serena Williams.
Yeah, even I don't see anyone who can stop her right now, unless she has a really bad day. I
mean, that's possible in sport, or somebody else has a great day.
Yeah.
But I think overall, if you have to look at current form and stuff like that, it will be very.
What's been very interesting about this season is that she's had really difficult matches where she's not looked at her best, but she's found a way to turn it around.
Correct.
And that's what I really admired about her this season, because otherwise, she steamrolls past opponents 6-1, 6-0. Those are like her usual scores. But this season, there's this.
She's what, 33?
Yeah, 33. There's this resilience that she's shown, and that's very admirable.
Absolutely. I mean, that's why she's a champion.
Yeah, and I think if she wins it, then she definitely cements her position as the greatest women's athlete.
Yes.
Because it's 33 and she's still winning.
Absolutely.
What about the men's? Ayaz, who are you putting your money on?
So I think the guy who's looking in great form, obviously, is Djokovic.
Yes. So here's the thing. So Djokovic made the semi-finals or more in his last 8 US Opens, but he's only won it once.
Yeah.
It's something about the Arthur Ashe Stadium.
But the biggest challenges to him are actually fading. Which has been Murray. Murray is not fading, but I'm saying he's not quite measured up. Nadal, what we've seen, not at his best for a long time. Federer also, the minute it goes into the 4th or 5th set, he seems to lose more often than win. So that leaves him still going the strongest.
So Novak Djokovic.
So by a process of elimination, it's just simple linear
but Murray
logic.
Pulled off the win against him recently on hard court. So I think it's between Murray and Djokovic. I think that's the final that we should see. A lot of people are thinking that maybe even Federer can make it to the final.
Federer.
It's an interesting.
He's always in the mix.
Because and the best part is like the US Open last Grand Slam, and it could just be a completely unpredictable final like last year. Like who predicted Nishikori versus Cilic final last year? So if we have that again, I think that would be quite a.
It's always great for sport when you have an upset.
It's brilliant for sports. So that's what you're watching out for this week. The US Open.
Yes.
And India hopefully can pull off the win tomorrow.
I'm confident in the weather rules.
Thanks for watching the Sportscast. We'll see you next Monday.